Africa and indeed Nigerian businesses across various sectors such as food and beverage, textiles and apparel, equipment and machinery have opportunities to export to the United States. The US government has designed encouraging initiatives such as Prosper Africa as well as the AGOA. I'm sure many of us have heard of the AGOA, the African Growth and Opportunity Act, which the NACC is at the vanguard of. We are at the vanguard of the stakeholder engagement, both in Nigeria and America, to ensure that businesses optimize the inherent benefits of the AGOA scheme. However, although US markets presents massive economic opportunities, it also poses formidable market entry barriers to the uninformed entrepreneur, who consequently lacks the required capability to navigate this terrain. Businesses seeking to export to the US must meet high standards for product quality, comply with regulatory requirements, supply US buyers with commercial volumes on reliable timelines, and meet consumer expectations. This is a lot, and for the average Nigerian businessman, most of this pose huge problems for us.
The subject of discuss today is on breaking the barriers export to the US. This is quite an interesting and a great opportunity for Nigeria to really take part in. And I'll start by introducing what we do at NAPC, how we do it, and every other thing we need to know. NAPC is the federal government agency charged with the responsibility of promoting non-oil exports, and it's been in existence since 1976, and the act has been reviewed over time. NAPC as a regulatory agency is promoting the development of non-oil exports away from oil, and we also assist in the development of export-oriented industries in Nigeria. We play the leading role in creating incentives for Nigerian exporters.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Louis Kasola, the CEO MD of Capion, is the next speaker. Round of applause for him. Thank you.
Breaking the barriers of exporting to the United States. I'm going to start by way to a preamble to assume that everyone in this room has an interest or has some form of knowledge about exports or some form of entrepreneurial skill, because I think those are the basis to even start with. Yes, AGOA was introduced in 2000, but it's important to also know that it will expire in 2025. What that means is that it had a renewal at some point, I'm not sure exactly when, and then it's going to expire in 2025. And let me give you some stats, because that stats will tell us where we are, where we were, where we are now, and what the possibilities are in the future. In 2022, new statistics shows that the US had a trade deficit, which means their import was more than their exports. Now, import total with services and all that total about $4.1 trillion. Don't bother converting that to Naira. Now, $4.1 trillion, and there was a growth of about 16%. What that meant was that between 2021 and 2022, they imported more in excess of almost $600 billion, despite COVID and all that, right? Now, so what that means is that despite the downturn or expected downturn that COVID is expected to have churned out, we're still able to bring in quite a bit from the outside world.
I believe most people here are businesses looking to start exporting. Right? How many people are already into exports? Let me see. If you're already exporting to the USA, okay, so that's less than 5% of the people here. And I believe the rest of the people here are interested in starting exporting, right? Okay, that's why we're all here. I have been the MD CEO of American Air Sea Cargo. 2020, I'm sure we all remember the COVID issue. We had our warehouses shut down for close to 4 months. It wasn't a nice, it wasn't a nice event, you know. You have a warehouse, 2 warehouses where we are paying close to $20,000 monthly in rent, and both of them were shut down for 4 months. So basically, we lost close to $100,000 during that period. But that period opened up my eyes to, you know, I just sat down and said, you know, since I'm not doing much, let me start teaching people how to export and move products to the US. So I went to YouTube, just started a small lesson on how to export, how to sell your products on Amazon. And that's how Export and Sell was born. We now had to establish a totally different company to train people and do so many things with respect to it. Now, Nigeria and exports, this is a little statistics of, you know, because when you are trying to export, you need to understand where you are, where your country is, and the challenges that you are going to face. This is export of, what is this, cocoa, right? Now, I pulled this from US import data. So this is the data US Customs have on import of some of these products into the USA. You can see Nigeria in 2013 from $21 million to $29 million in 2017. And Nigeria is the middle one. And we are still at about $16 million. You know, so from 21 million in 2013, we've only grown to 16 million in about 10 years. Take a look at Ghana. Ghana has been at $148 million. They're at about 138.
The export to the USA series, like you have been told, is intended to provide participants valuable insights into the processes involved in exporting to the United States of America. You would therefore agree with me that it is a tall task, considering the number of products and services to be dealt with in this regard. I have therefore narrowed the scope and tweaked the topic thus: exporting to the US, breaking process barriers, beverage export as a case study. We will limit our discussion to beer export to the USA. Nigerian beer is different from any beer anywhere in the world, and it's a beer that people are looking for all over the world. It's actually different. The processes involved cannot be said to be one fits all because of the gamut of exportable products and services. For example, the processes involved in exporting agricultural products, solid minerals, finished and semi-finished products are different. It is in light of this that we will restrict ourselves to alcoholic beverage export, and in this context, beer.
I think for starters, I haven't been the president for 2 years. I have just been for like a year and a half. And out of that time, you will appreciate the fact that COVID has taken part of that time. So it's now we are just settling to ensuring that all the promises we made, we want to fulfill them. And one of the promises is this breakfast meeting with, this export barrier thing. What are we going to do? How do we formulate policies that would help our members to break down the barriers? And as you have witnessed, that's something we have done today.